Well, hey, my name is Emily. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. There is normally another Emily, but today it is just me. The other Emily is still at work, but something happened at work for me today that I wanted to share with you all, and it has to do with this container. So before we get into what actually happened, I need to preface that I work in retail. I'm just a retail worker. I work in a store. Keep in mind, everyone at work knows that I used to work at a zoo. I came from the zoo to this job. I'm at work today serving customers, and one of my fellow employees, we'll call him George, comes down the store. He gets closer. He's like,
"Hey Emily, you like animals?"
I was like, "Yeah, I love animals. I'm your gal. I love animals." He was like,
"Cool, come with me."
At this point, I'm starting to panic. I'm like, I work in retail in suburbia. What? Why? So I'm walking with, what did we say, George? I'm walking with George. He's like,
"So there's a lizard at the front till."
well, I'm sorry, there's a what? It's like,
"There's a lizard at the front till. None of us want to touch it. Can you catch it?"
I was like, what kind of lizard are we talking about? He's like,
"Oh, big lizard."
a big lizard. He's like,
"Oh yeah, a big lizard."
a big lizard? How big a lizard are we talking about, George? And he's like,
"Emily, it's a blue-tongue lizard."
I was like, whoa. Georgia boy, George, I'm telling you right now, there is no way there is a blue-tongue lizard at the front counter. For reference, this is a blue-tongue lizard. They are not small, and there is no way. Firstly, there was a blue tongue there. We're suburbia, like 500 meters away is a 4-lane highway, like middle of suburbia. Secondly, there is no way I am touching a blue tongue lizard if there is a blue tongue lizard at the front counter. I'm starting to panic at this point. I'm like, do I regret saying that I like animals? Do I regret working at a zoo? Do I regret my existence? What am I about to walk into? So I get up to the front counter. George is like,
"All right, they'll show you where the lizard is."
What? Is this going to be a dragon? Am I handling a real life dragon here? Why is what? Where are you going, George? What is this lizard? Where is it? She turns to me and she's like, "Oh, it's under the phone." I'm like, there's not a blue tongue lizard under the phone. I pick up the phone. No lizard. At this point, if there was a blue tongue, I'm pretty sure I would have seen it by now. So I'm pretty confident we're not dealing with a blue. I was pretty confident back at the start that I wasn't dealing with a blue tongue, but yeah, it's fine. I pick up a bag, a plastic bag, has a t-shirt in it, and they're there against the back wall on top of the it's not actually the front counter. So the front counter, if you are the front counter, there's a bench that runs along the wall behind me. So it's actually on that wall. Right at the top is this tiny, I'm talking tiny. This is the photo I took of it when I first saw it. A tiny little guy on the back. How amazing! A gecko! So this is the little guy. If you can see there, that is the little gecko down in there. So I'm like, okay, cool, it's a gecko. Catch it with the help of one of the other girls, catch it just in my hands. I walk it outside because we've got a few garden beds out the front. I walk outside, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this tiny little gecko because I find it so fascinating. I'm holding it in my hand, I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, this is the shopping centre car park. I'm about to put this thing back in the shopping centre car park. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I live out in the bush. There's no way. I'm taking it home. I'm releasing it into the bush. So I find the tub, put the gecko in the tub, and I'm like, I need to put this tub somewhere. So I take it into the lunchroom. I put it on the bench. I put a plate on top of the container, plate upside down on top of the container. I'm like, yeah, that's a big container, a little gecko. I'll crack it open for air every so often. It'll be fine. And go about my day. Now I get to my lunch break, feeling sorry for this guy, like stuck in a little tub, like I'm cracking the plate every so often to give him some air. I'm like, he's proven he's trustworthy. He's just chilling at the bottom in amongst all his leaves. Fine. So I get the thinnest little branch from that stick of leaves and I hang it out and prop the plate up on that. I'm like, just gives him a little bit of fresh air. Like, we're talking tiny, right? It'll give him some fresh air. He'll probably appreciate it. So I go about my work day. I go in for my afternoon break and I'm looking at the container. My soul left my body as I looked at that container and the gecko was not in it. I'm like, I am fired. I'm getting fired. That's it. I've let the gecko out. I'm checking under the fridge, under the microwave, under the sandwich toaster. I'd boiled the kettle to make my lunch, and this little guy, this little gecko, had curled himself up under the base of the kettle. I finally found him under there. Then he took off and ended up like in the sandwich toaster. So I'm like shaking out the sandwich toaster. Get out of the toaster, you're gonna get me fired. I was not allowed to let you out. Finally get him out of the toaster, back in the container. I'm like, that is it. You're small, container's big, there's plenty of air, plate, smack bang, back on the top, not getting out again. And that is how I have a gecko at home now. He is still in the container because Emily really wants to see him, and we're going to be releasing him tomorrow. So I will show you that. We're going to be putting him out into the bush so he can hopefully live a long, happy life. I just wanted to tell the story because it was so bizarre. But yeah, that is something a little bit different for you. Kind of like a little story time, if you will, of me working a retail job rescuing geckos. From some research I've done, I believe him to be a marbled gecko, but if you know otherwise, please let me know down in the comments. Marbled geckos are apparently very common in Australia, but it would be great to know if he is not. So please do let me know if you know. But yeah, he's so cute. Well, I'm going to pop him away now, give him a little bit of water for the night, and then we will let him go tomorrow morning, and we will show you that. So I'll see you then. Okay, so it is the next day. We have the little gecko. The other Emily is here today, and we're going to take it across the road and release it into the bush. There she is. Bad time you got here. It's nearly been a whole video. Right, so we've literally just walked across the road from our backyard out into the bush, which is a much nicer place for him to live than the middle of suburbia at a shopping centre. I'm going to get him out. I'm going to hold him on my hand so you can really get to see how pretty he is, and then we're going to let him go live a long, happy life. Alrighty, and there he goes. Whoa! So this is our little gecko friend's new home. Hopefully he can get up to heaps of adventures out here. I feel good about myself moving him from suburbia out here. That was me and you technically rescuing a marbled gecko. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a marbled gecko. If you know otherwise, let me know, because I would love to learn if it is not. But yeah, that was nice. It was kind of refreshing to do something animal related again. Yeah. We haven't done anything animal related in a while. Excited to get back into it.
Yeah, we might hit up one of the local wildlife parks soon.
Definitely. So like and subscribe if you want to see that, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.